What up, peeps? KgDriftyy is in the building. It's been a minute since I did a video like this, man. But today's video, you guys know about the title. I'm going to be giving you guys the Cyberpunk 2077 review. My thoughts and opinion about the game, the story, the bugs, my experience on the PlayStation 5, and so forth. So without further ado, man, let's get started. So, man, Cyberpunk. We all know how Cyberpunk was. We all know how Cyberpunk moved. Cyberpunk, it's been a lot of controversy with the game, from a lot of the biggest bugs not being unplayable on the basic model PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones. And I don't really know too much experiences for the people who have the Pro or the Xbox Series or the Xbox One S or X. And I know for a lot of next-gen consoles, people been having a little bit more better experiences. You feel me? Like, for me, I had better experiences on the PS5. I didn't play on the PS4, but I do have an external hard drive, so I did put my Cyberpunk on the external hard drive. And as you know, when you do that, it converts, and it's pretty much basically a PS4 game now. I tried it, and I played it on the PS5, and trust me, it was buggy. The texture didn't come in. It was pretty bad. So, I switched it back over to PS5, and the texture and the stuff came in. And honestly, before I even get more into detail, well, actually, yeah, I'm going to start off with that. So, my experience on the PlayStation 5 with the game itself, I can say I experienced minor problems here and there. Yeah, I experienced bugs. I mean, the bugs wasn't, it wasn't. How the best way I can explain it? The bugs, it wasn't, I guess not unplayable, but it wasn't avoidable. Yeah, it wasn't avoidable at all. It was going to have some bugs. It definitely had a lot of bugs and problems. I can honestly say that definitely from me switching the port over to the external and doing it back to the 5, definitely the 5 version is a lot more polished. I mean, personally, in my opinion, I kind of felt like Cyberpunk 2077 should have been a next-gen console game, in my opinion, for the Xbox Series S and X and all that, and the Xbox and the PS5 and the PC. I think it should have been for that, and I think that if they were going to drop it for the latest gen console like PS4 Pro and the basic Xbox, they should have done it probably a year after, in my opinion. I think it should have exclusively been, well, not exclusively, but it should have been made as a next-gen game, because personally, it feels like a next-gen game, basically for all the stuff that they have into the game, the architecture, and all those other things. So it's a lot of stuff in the game that made the frame rate, you feel me, drop. For, especially for basic console players. So I definitely believe it should have been for the next gen consoles first, and then they should have worked on it a little bit more and then dropped it for the latest gen, because, they could have put all the stuff that they cut out into the next gen, which I still think they're going to do when the PS5 version and the Xbox Series X or an S version come out. I think they're definitely going to, in my opinion, I feel like they're going to add a lot of the taken out things that they took out from the final version of the game. I think they're going to re-include it in. But overall, I did experience a little bit of bugs here and there. It was, like I said before, it wasn't avoidable. I dealt with a lot of crashes here and there. Probably, I think I was able to play at least 4 to 5 hours of game, and then bam, it'll crash on me. And it wasn't really too much of an issue, just because it wasn't as frequently, like how a lot of people have experienced, but definitely, like I said, it wasn't avoidable. And now, one thing I can say is, when I was getting closer to the end, the game did lag. Well, not even lag, it did bug out a whole lot more than normal. I experienced some issues to where, when I was playing it, like on one of the Pan Am missions, she kept re-saying the dialogue that she said, and then it kind of made me, it didn't allow me to go on to the next dialogue, so it was glitching a lot there. It made me a little bit frustrated, but that was kind of towards the middle to end of the game, pretty much to get her good ending and shit. Spoiler, sorry about that. And but when it got to like the main ending of the game, yes, it definitely bugged out a whole lot more than usual, so it did take me away from the experience. But it wasn't as, it wasn't so bad to where I wanted to refund the game, not at all. But it definitely was pretty damn annoying. I'm not even gonna sit here and say it wasn't. But overall, besides from all the bugs and things, I think it was a great experience. The bugs, here and there. I think that from a lot of people, like I watched T Martin, everybody's reviews and things. Yeah, I can honestly see why it definitely took a little bit of people out the experience, just because of how bad the bugs were for certain people. And I do believe that the bug it was definitely different from a lot of other people. But because I know I heard people who had PS4 Pros and Basics said they really didn't experience too many issues too. So it's like it definitely was different for everybody. But definitely I do agree that due to all the bugs and the textures being off and things, it definitely took you out. It definitely took me out of the game for a little bit, but I will still enjoy it, and it was still enjoyable. Like I said, I mean, for most, it took them out of the game completely due to a lot of the bugs because it was very, it was too much. But for me, it didn't take me out as much to where I was like, yeah, I don't want to play this shit. No, it really wasn't really that bad. But it definitely, like I said, it was very annoying and frustrating. But like I said before, it was playable, and I didn't really worry too much. I didn't really argue too much about what came from that. Now, the story itself. I think the story was amazing. I think the story was really, really good. It was really dope. It was really fun. Now, in my opinion, I think that I'm definitely going to be being some little nitpicking. I'm definitely going to be nitpicking on what I thought about what they could have done better and what they should have done. But the story itself, it was fun. It was driven. I love the complexity of the characters. Keanu Reeves did a great job. I know due to the rumors, they kind of bashed they kind of bashed Keanu Reeves for that. But I think he did great, man. I think Keanu Reeves did a fun job. I think he actually made the game a whole lot even more enjoyable than it was. And it was just a dope experience. I think the plot was dope. It was definitely something original. I mean, I know the game itself is based off of a book, I'm assuming. That's what my boy was telling me and things like that. But like I said, is it a perfect game? Hell no. But definitely the story, it was definitely immersive to a certain extent. I'm going to get a little bit more in detail with that. It was immersive to a certain extent. But like I said, it was still enjoyable for what it was. Definitely when you get more into the story, it starts to get even more better and even more good and even more darker at some points. And it really started to pick up and get hella good. Yes, in the beginning, it definitely started off slow, but I think the introduction was sick as fuck, honestly. When you get done doing the prologue and it was sick. And it's funny because I didn't get the title screen once the actual prologue was over with. That's the actually funny thing. I didn't get a title screen, which was kind of a downer. But overall, it was fun. I think the story was really good. And definitely, I can't wait for future DLCs to come. Definitely, they could definitely add a whole lot more. And I think that when they do add DLC for the game, they should add a long DLC and add DLC to all the separate endings that you choose. So if you chose to do the Johnny Silverhand, you should be able to do Johnny Silverhand, and it should definitely start off to wherever your quest is. In my opinion, it should give you an option. So I definitely hope that in the future DLCs, they definitely expand on the story because, man, I think it's a whole lot more things they can mess with the Cyberpunk world, and there's a whole lot more they can do with the story. And I think it would definitely make it even more better than what it is, especially once they fix the bugs and all the other stuff. Now, I'm going to jump into more of the nitpick aspect of what I wish they could have done better and what I think they should have done. So I'm going to say this, starting off with the romancing and the relationships. I think it lacked a whole lot of immersion in that aspect. Why? Because I just felt like for me, I was female V. I chose Judy, the romance Judy, and I just felt like it was just too bland, man. It was too dull. I think they could have done a whole lot better in terms of aspect of actually letting you be more immersive with her. After you do a romance, I hate the fact that you can only see her at the crib and see her at the house, and then you only do a few dialogues here and there, check her email, and that's it. And then if you call her, they only give you 4 options, and that's it of communication. I wish they would have done a whole lot more in immersion. And of more immersion in that aspect to let you communicate with Judy more. At least even then, let you take her out on dates. Y'all go just like on GTA. You could go out and get drinks and things. I wish you was able to do that in Cyberpunk with the characters that you romance, because it don't necessarily feel like I can say it feels more like a quest than it does an actual immersive experience. It feels like they was just set up for the quest and that's it. You know what I mean? They'll set up for the quest and they'll set up for the ending, and that's all. I think that definitely that hopefully in the future DLCs, based on whoever you romance, they allow you to actually interact, actually be able to go out, do things with the character. You know what I mean? Go out to eat, go out to drink or whatever. You can have sex with the character anytime you want. I just hope that they do a whole lot more in the DLC, because they can do that. They can add those type of things. But I think that it lacked a whole lot of immersion in those terms of aspects, and especially where you can't really hang out with certain people that you want to. It's just I think they could have done a whole lot more. They could have definitely did some GTA type shit with that. And it definitely took me out the game a lot. And I just felt like it could have been a whole lot better. They could have done a whole lot more with these characters. And I just felt like instead of just making them feel like a quest and feel like a story, you should actually be able to hang out and do things. So definitely, I hope, like I said before, I'm just doing a whole ass repeat rant, but I hope like I said, when the new DLC comes out, they add more to that, and you could do more things with it because it was just boring, man. And I hated it, and I hated it a lot, and it kind of took the enjoyment out of it. And another issue that I had with Johnny Silverhand, bro. Honestly, I love when you get further to the story, and then you can spoilers. By the way, spoilers. If you haven't played the game or beat it, I suggest you kind of turn it off right here. But in my opinion, I felt like with Johnny Silverhand, I wish they would have done a whole lot more in terms of when you switch bodies. As you know, when you get further and more into the game, you can be able to take the pill and he could turn into you. And then at the end, he could turn into you, towards the end. It's mostly towards the ending aspect of the game, you get to be able to play more as Johnny Silverhand. And I think that they definitely should have gave you would have been fucking cool if they actually gave you an option to be able to turn to Johnny Silverhand whenever you want. You know what I mean? Like you could take the pill and then be Johnny Silverhand or whatever. And then, you could turn back to V. Like, I wish that it was a whole lot more better. I wish you could have done way more. I wish they could have done more with Johnny Silverhand and actually let you interact with him a whole lot more and actually literally be him, because you are a part of him. He's a part of you. You know what I mean? So if you already have the pills to turn into him and then also have the pills to keep yourself from preventing to turn yourself into him, I think they should have gave you an option to where you could go back and forth between characters. I think that would have been fucking lit and it would have been fun. And honestly, especially being Johnny with female V, it was very fun, man. I actually liked it. It was very interesting because, you got, obviously you hear V voice and then after that you hear Johnny Silverhand voice in the background. I feel like they could have done a whole lot more in terms of gameplay with that. They definitely should have allowed you to change back and forth to him. It was just an idea. I mean, obviously, I know that you won't be able to probably do that in the DLC. Maybe they probably could add it into a DLC, add like a whole separate little, alternate something, but who knows? But I definitely think that they should have done more with Johnny Silverhand in that aspect to where you could change into him, and I think that would have been fucking lit. Now, gameplay, I think gameplay was fucking lit. It was fun. I mean, obviously, like I said before, the bugs and things kind of take out the immersion of it sometimes. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of issues here and there. I think the driving was kind of shit. I wish the driving was a whole lot better. I feel like I was driving on butter, and the cars didn't have no handling. So, I wish they hopefully they do a lot more with that. I know a lot of people did complain about the police AIs and the AIs itself. I do agree. Necessarily, I really didn't see myself getting in too much trouble and really getting too much of a wanted. I really didn't deal with too much wanted levels in Cyberpunk. I didn't really do too much dumb shit on there. I usually just went to quest and did what I did. So necessarily, I can't really argue. I can't really say too much about the police AI, but I definitely do believe, and I definitely do agree with other people that they definitely should tweak the AI a bit, actually let the AIs be realistic and actually let them chase you around the goddamn, chase around Night City, drive and chase you, and fix the spawning behind you. I mean, I know the Cyberpunk just came out with the new update, so I'm not sure what they fixed. I know I looked at the patch notes, but I don't know how the game plays now, but definitely I feel like they should definitely do a whole lot more in terms of the cops and the AIs itself and make the AIs a little bit more immersive. But, like I said, they could do that with minor tweaks and minor updates, definitely. And especially when the next gen version come out, they could definitely update it and make it a whole lot better. My opinion about the cut content, didn't necessarily really trip too much about it. I mean, based on what I heard about a lot of the cut content that they took out, I think it would have definitely made the game a whole lot better and a whole lot bigger, way bigger than what it is. But like I said, a lot of the shit that happened with the investors and things like that, I'm cutting them slack. I'm not really arguing too much about it, but I understand and I could get why people are angry about certain things. But like I said before, hopefully when the next gen versions come out, they're going to re-add a lot of the things and make the game a whole lot better and make the experience more enjoyable, especially for next gen players. And I think that for many people who are loyal to them and a lot of people who actually did not get a refund of things, I think we should get something special, in my opinion, just for being loyal and actually sticking around and being a part of the game and not giving it away back. Because Cyberpunk is a great game, man. Is it a masterpiece? No, I don't think it's a masterpiece, but it could have been a masterpiece. Could have went down as one of the greats, of course, definitely. I definitely agree that later in the future, when everything gets polished and everything gets more added, I definitely think that Cyberpunk would definitely be up there in a lot of people's top 10s, and not in terms of the year or just in terms of their game in general. I think that the game was amazing. I think the game was amazing. Lacked in certain aspects. Is it perfect? Fuck no, never. No game is never perfect. No game is never perfect. Can they do a whole lot more to make the game to the best it could be? Yes, of course, definitely in the future. And I'm assuming that they're going to be doing that in the future when more DLCs come come out, multiplayer and all that other things. So I definitely think that Cyberpunk is definitely going to. This Cyberpunk got a lot of, I think it had a whole lot of expectation and it filled the requirement based on a lot of bullshit that happened. But like I said, it's never the end, and hopefully they do learn from their mistakes and make the game a whole lot better than what it was if they do come out with another series. But like I said, it's never too late to make it better. The game only been out for what, 2 months? About 2 months. It's only been out for 2 months. So, obviously it's still the beginning stage of the game, and we still got a lot more to go. So, we just got to be patient, and hopefully the thing go good. But overall, my opinion about the game, like I said, story was great, gameplay was good, with minor little flaws. I have minor flaws. I hope that in the future they add more immersion and make the game more immersive in terms of the characters and the romancing with the characters that you have, dating and things like that. And I hope that they fix a lot of the minor bugs and make the game a whole lot polishable. Now, my rating, what I would give it, I don't know if I want to give it by letters or I want to give it by numbers. I guess I'll do by letters. I think I would give Cyberpunk a 8.9. 8.9. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8.9. I'm going to give it an 8.9 just because of, like I said before, all those little things I mentioned. And like I said, it's definitely when things get fixed and polished, I would definitely bump that game up to probably a 9.5 because it's a slept-on game. I think that they did what they can do, and I'm really excited for the future of what they're going to bring to Cyberpunk. But like I said, it was a fun experience, and I'm definitely going to be playing the game again. Right now, I'm still going off of my character, trying to level up my character fully before I start the next chapter of the game. But overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to what they do for the future. But there you guys have it. That is my review for Cyberpunk 2077. That is my thoughts and opinions about the game. Comment below, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about the game. Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? What do you guys think they could have done better? What do you guys think they could have added into the game? What do you think they could have done for you to make your opinion stand out? What do you think they could have done better for you and your experience for the game to make it, your top 10 or whatever, even if it is or if not? Comment below. Let me know, y'all. I hope you guys enjoy it. More great videos coming soon. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video and supporting it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.